Shabbat Shalom. Tonight we gather in sacred time at the threshold between the ordinary and the holy. Shabbat invites us to pause, to breathe, and to remember who we are beneath the noise of the week. It is a return to stillness, to community, and to the deeper truth of our lives. We are also on the third night of Pesach, a time to be remembering that we were once slaves in Egypt and now we are free. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to acknowledge and thank our beautiful community. Thank you to everyone who joined us for our Sunday Seder. It was truly meaningful to share that sacred experience together. A special thank you to Sharon for all the work she does behind the scenes and in front of it, continually elevating the quality and spirit of our congregation. Thank you to Jim Garrett for running the camera and for helping us stay connected beyond these walls. And to our Oneg helpers, led by Phyllis Pisto, thank you for creating the warmth and fellowship that continues after our service. I saw Valerie and Gary out there, so thank you, all of you. And if you missed it, maybe Valerie will give you a reprise of Bishana Haba'ah at the end, because we're going to be doing that. So she sang it for the Seder. If she wants to tonight, she's welcome to come up and sing it. And of course, a heartfelt mazel tov and happy birthday and anniversary to all our April celebrants, which is Patty Bobian, right? And Debbie Cohn. So happy birthday to both of you. Yeah. May this be a month of joy, health, and blessing for each of you. We also find ourselves in a unique convergence of sacred rhythms. With the Jewish calendar, we're in the early days of the counting of the Omer, a journey of inner refinement that bridges liberation and revelation. And in a wider spiritual world, today is Good Friday, a day marked by reflection, sacrifice, and the enduring human search for meaning, compassion, and redemption. Happy Easter to all that will celebrate, and happy Good Friday. These themes are not separate. They speak to one another. The Omer invites us to grow. Good Friday invites us to feel deeply. Both ask, how do we become more fully human, more open-hearted, more aligned with what is sacred? How do we give back what we have so generously enjoyed in our lives? So tonight, when we count the second day of the Omer, there's a prayer that we say, and I'm going to ask if you will say it with me. Okay, there we go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat ha'omer. Today is the second day of Omer. Blessed are you, source of life, who inspires us to mark the sacred unfolding of time. In the mystical tradition, each day of the Omer reflects a pairing of qualities of the soul. Day one was chesed, which is loving kindness. This teaches us that day two, gevura, is boundaries within that love, which teaches us that love alone is not enough. Love must have shape. It must have integrity. It must be guided by wisdom. So tonight we might ask ourselves, where does my love need stronger boundaries? Where can I express care in a way that is both compassionate and clear? Some of us were sort of talking about that earlier, weren't we? How do I balance openness with strength? True freedom, the kind we speak of in this season, is not just the absence of constraint, but the ability to live with both an open heart and a grounded center. On this evening, when traditions intersect, we honor a shared human truth. Growth often comes through challenge. Transformation asks something of us. And the path to redemption, whether personal or collective, requires both courage and compassion. So as we enter this Shabbat, hopefully, we are clearing away all the chametz from our lives. May we hold all of this gently, the quiet unfolding of the Omer, the depth of reflection present in the wider world, and our own inner journey toward becoming more whole. So let us begin Shabbat Shalom. And thank you. And please join me with Avadim Hayinu, Hayinu, Atav Nechorim, B'nechorim, Avadim Hayinu, Atav B'nechorim, Avadim Hayinu, Atav Nechorim, B'nechorim, Atav Nechorim, B'nechorim. And does anybody know what that is? It's in the Seder. Does anybody recognize what it is? No, it's the answer to the non-denominational, the 4 questions. Why did this night different than all other nights? Because we were Jews and we were slaves in Egypt, right? So Avadim Hayinu is the answer to the non-denominational, the 4 questions. So now I'd like to call up, and we're going to be over here tonight for the blessings, Debbie Cohn, who's going to lead us in the Shabbat candle blessings in her beautiful white dress. And later, Ms. President, you'll say something near the end. Thank you. All right, there's a button you have to push on that to turn it on. See the button? And then it lights up. There you go, you got it.
Okay. May these Shabbat and Passover lights open our eyes to the joys in life, friends who are always there for us, family who are our heartstrings, people who give us the freedom to be ourselves, the Torah that helps direct our actions, the celebration of our heritage that unites us all as one people. May these holiday candles bring peace, goodness, and cheer, and happiness within our families and in our homes, as their light helps our light spread out to the world. Let us now light these candles and begin this special Passover Shabbat for all of us. Baruch atah Adonai, please join me. Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov.
You want to say anything else while you're here?
I welcome everyone this evening. It's nice to see you. I will be missing you for several weeks because I'm doing lots and lots and lots of traveling in the next 2 months. Yeah, lovely, lovely stuff.
And I'll have to give you money to give away to a stranger. I'll have to give you money to give away to a stranger. So one of the Jewish beliefs is that when somebody's going on a long travel, for them to be safe, you give them money so that they give it away to a stranger when they're away. And that way, because they're doing a good deed, if you're in the presence of doing a good deed, then God will protect you. That's the Jewish value, right? So you'll protect it if you're doing a good deed. So if we give her money to give away, she'll be protected, right? Then it could be $1. It could be a couple of dollars. So I want to do that, to give her some. Okay. Thank you. I'd like to now call up Patty Bobian Adanoff to lead us in the blessing, the Kiddush. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's probably yeah, there you go. You have to turn it on again.
You hear me? Yeah.
We can.
Oh, boy, this is Sweet wine is a symbol of joy and happiness. It was rare to have wine during times of Torah, and 1 cup would be shared by the entire family. As we gather together to celebrate this weekly holiday of Shabbat and this annual holiday of Passover, we rejoice and recite the Kiddush, which means sanctification. We raise this Kiddush cup with thanksgiving and recite the blessing over the wine. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei bri agafen.
Amen.
Amen.
Happy birthday to you, and Deb, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you, and many more.
Thank you very much. It's such a pleasure to be part of this congregation. As a lot of you know, I'm looking to relocate to the West Coast. I mean, to going to Las Vegas to go live with near my daughter and my grandkids. But
My daughter's in Las Vegas now, and we go there very often.
oh, good. So you'll come. And then I know Ruth is really upset, but. Oh, another
Eleanor,
birthday.
happy birthday to you too. Also, Gloria Lichtenberg is this month, and Renee Barbara Gonzalez, little one, Rena. Oh, 2 years old. 2, wow, okay. So, and then anniversaries, Sheila and Marty Winston, and Helen and Lester Pasek. So let's say Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, and Simon Tov, Yehelanu. Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, and Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, and Simon Tov, Yehelanu. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ve'al kol ha'olam. 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 Yay. And since we're here, we're going to do Yivarechecha, a little different version of it tonight. And so you can still, for those that are online, you bless your children, you bless your family, you bless your friends. If you want to do that, have your hands over them and bless them. I can't hold my hands up to bless you, but my guitar strumming will be blessing you. Yivarechecha Adonai, v'yismerecha, Yair Adonai panav elecha, v'chunecha yisa Adonai panav elecha, v'yasem lecha shalom, ken yehi ratzon. May God bless and keep you forever and ever. May God be kind and gracious to one another. May the light upon your face sit around you every day. And may God grant you peace. Can you hear it so? Can you hear it so? Can you hear it so? I like that one. Alan Goodis, who actually is a good friend of my sister, Flo, wrote that piece. So that's the first place I saw it. I was walking up the stairs at her house, and the music was sitting on the stairway, and I picked it up and I started singing it because I can read music, and she was like, "Oh, Alan wrote that." It's amazing. It's a nice piece, and I like the part of it. Can you hear Ratzon? May it be God's will. Like, we don't often say that in the regular Yivarecha. May it be God's will. I like that part. So please join in a responsive reading. Shabbat Shalom, Chag Pesach Sameach. Welcome to the Passover, the palace, the invisible sacred palace in time that our people have carried with them on all of our journeys across the planet.
Once every 7 days, for over 3,000 years, we have left the toil, stress, and worry of the work week and stepped into Shabbat to hold a vision of the world at peace.
And some may say 4,000 years, but okay. The door to the palace stands open. To enter, you don't need Hebrew. There are no special qualifications.
But you do need to know how to let go of the world of hurry and worry, of striving to impress and outdo others, of acquiring and competing.
This letting go is sometimes hard at first, but soon it becomes second nature.
Many people find that Shabbat becomes the highlight, the heart of their week.
Nice. So the Baruch Hu comes next, but before we rise for the Baruch Hu, we pause and remember the ancestors that shaped our Jewish history. The rituals of the candles and wine, the Baruch Hu and the Shema, all remind us that even though some things remain the same, we have a deep love for our heritage and our country. We can be open to broaden our awareness and search for deeper meaning. The Baruch Hu is our moment to choose how we respond, to lift up ourselves and one another, to let go of bitterness and to stand together in gratitude and humility. As we rise in body, mind, or spirit, may we answer this call with open hearts, ready to bless God and one another, and ready to join together, hopefully in peace. The Baruch Hu, please rise as it be your custom. And this is the Noah Aronson version. Oh, excuse me, no, please stay standing for the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vahed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vahed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Please be seated and join me in the Ve'ahavta. But before that, we have a quick responsive reading. We remember on this day our crossing the sea so long ago. Oh, I did it first. I'm sorry. All right, I'll do the Ve'ahavta first. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha ub'chol nafshecha ub'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadivarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha ulechtecha v'aderech u'shochbecha u'vekumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hiyu latotafot beinenecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Thank you. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, your soul, and your might. And, you know, I was reading today about the idea of obeying God, you know, like you may not take any other gods before me and obey God. It was saying that if we think of that in terms of how we live our lives, not that we have to look up to this higher being and like obey and honor, but if we, in ourselves and how we act out in the world, if we act godly, then we're obeying God and obeying the commandments. I like that version of thinking about it. So anyway, all right, so please join in a responsive reading. We remember on this day our crossing the sea so long ago,
when Miriam, Moses, and all of the Israelites sang a song of freedom for God, the creative power.
so too do we sing out in praise today on this anniversary of our redemption. And so this is Miriam's song written by Debbie Friedman, one of my more favorites. And if you want to get up and move around, feel free. And the women dancing with the timber, follow Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who is exalted. Miriam and the women dance, dance the whole night long. And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one that sang her history. With every thread and every strand, she crafted ivy light. A woman touched with spirit, dancing for so light. Nobody wants to join them. And the women dancing with the timber, follow Miriam as she sang a song. Sing a song to the one who is exalted. Miriam and the women dance, dance the whole night long. When Miriam stood upon the shore and gazed across the sea, the wonder of the miracles she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand? We pass from freedom to march to promised land. And the women dancing with the timber, follow Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who is exalted. Miriam and the women dance, dance the whole night long. The Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang her praise and might. We just heard the miracle, we're gonna dance tonight. And the women dancing with the timbers followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who is exalted. Miriam and the women dance, dance the whole night long. Dance the whole night long. So the Avot V'Imahot is a tribute to our ancestors. The Reform movement found solace in incorporating the presence and the importance of women in the narrative of our ancient Torah. So thank you to those who made that story possible. That day serves as a global day. We're coming up on the Yom HaShoah, which falls on the 27th day of Nisan, which is the 14th of April. And so that day serves as a global day to remember victims of the Holocaust and commit to our own intolerance of others in Israel, or our own tolerance of others, hopefully. They stood with courage, gratitude, and strength, blazing a path of righteousness and peace for all people. We draw strength from their legacy of courage and resilience. We continue massaging the understanding of the nature and God, of equality and liberty, of gender roles and expectations, and of the mysteries of the universe. May we be wise enough to continue searching for our answers, compassionate enough to listen to one another, and steadfast enough to find our own path to peace. So if it be your custom to rise for the Avot, starting with the Adonai Sefatai. Adonai Sefatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chassadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevii Geula Livnei B'neihem, L'man Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Etzrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mekayeh Hakol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mechachel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayeh Hakol B'Rachabim Rabim, Somek Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, U'Matir Ashurim, U'Mekayeh Emunato, V'Shenei Afar, V'Chamocha Ba'al Givurot, U'Midom Elach, Melech Memid U'Mechayeh, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'Ne'eman atah Lehayot Hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol, Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh, V'Kedoshim B'Kol Yom, V'Hallelujah Selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Amen. You may be seated. So this next piece, it was written by Magda Fishman, who's a cantor, but Rabbi Beery changed some of the English lyrics, and so please join if you know it, or if you don't, please join with me anyway. Hashkivinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath ozone, oh Adonai, through miracles that now are known. You protect earth and sky to keep us safe throughout the night. Earth's heavenly atmosphere blocks cosmic rays, but lets in light so life can thrive down here. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. This earthly plane and all the universe is your domain. Life you maintain, as science does explain the miracles of nature's laws. Create life sustain. Amen. 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 So sometimes people's blood sugar might get low, and there's food across the hall. So of course, it's a great idea to go over there and get something to nosh on if your blood sugar is low. If anybody ever has an issue, just know that you can always get up and do that. So as we enter into our silent meditation, may we be bathed in the deep knowing that we are loved unconditionally. May those quiet moments bring us renewed hope, strength, health, joy, and peace. The silent meditation. We've had 2 beautiful Passover meals. Some of you 1, some of you 2, some of you none, but there are people in the world that don't have any. So may we know how blessed we are. Bless you.
We wish a refuah shalema, a complete recovery to those in need. Rita Alsman, Michelle Angel, Andy Beta, Michelle Bernstein, Joe Burns, Stacy Chansky, Michelle Eric, Saul Fetter, Jessica Fagenbaum, Bill Field, Laura Gallinger, Holly Golden, Fern Haber, Jack Halperin, Tara Hollander, Vicki Hollander, Larry Horowitz, Shelley Horowitz, Catherine Jackson, Laurie Judge, Harvey Klein, Celia Cohn, Samantha Cohn Bartleman, David Kotlier, Ruth Cromash, Carolyn Latour, Joe Latour, Alana Lerner, Gloria Lichtenberg, Lori Messinger, Dr. Suter Nair, Alfred Paritsky, Helen Pasick, David Perlman, Laura Perlman Devens, Flo Paterni, Jacqueline Pullins, Lee Resnick, Bob Reynolds, Michael Robbins, Bernie Rosen, Dr. Jack Sabo, Marilyn Sabo, Alan Scott, Carol Shore, Miriam Sivak, Gloria Stein, Harry Stone, Michelle Stone, Jacob Viner, Naomi Volan, Charles Wood.
Thank you. And are there any other names? Emily. Thank you. Fran. Fran? Is that your name? Thank you. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Roz. Thank you. Gary, did you have your hand up? Everybody get better. Yeah. Anybody else? Ruth. Thank you, Alan. Thank you. Any others? I know. Who's the person Marcy always? Chris. Yeah, for her as well. And for anybody else that's suffering on the planet, including anybody in this room that doesn't have their name up here but didn't want to tell us, or any of your family members that you haven't mentioned. Please join in wishing them all refuah shlema and singing the Misha Berach with me. Misha Berach Avotinu Mekur HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishebeirach imochenu v'kor habracha li'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Can you hear that song? So now we're getting ready to carry the Torah in a moment, and that'll be Cookie Levinson and Gary Gerwitz, but we have a responsive reading first. So please join. We're going to be reading Leviticus today for Passover. Enlighten our eyes to the divine lessons of our tradition. Attach our hearts to the imperatives of our faith.
And let our minds be open to love and reveal all that is good, high, and holy.
Amen. So if Gary and Cookie would come up to carry the Torahs, and if you would want to rise in body, mind, or spirit while they do. Now sit right back and you hear a tale of the faithful Jews that started with dear Moses when idols he did refuse. Idols he did refuse. The Jews who were trapped in Egypt then were slaves for 400 years. The Pharaoh didn't care about the mother and their tears. Mothers and their tears. The ancient scene started getting rough. 10 plagues were on their way. Moses kept acting for relief, but Pharaoh just said nay. Pharaoh just said nay. Moses brought your brother in, 'cause Strutter was a parent. And Aaron threw his staff right down, and his staff became a serpent. His staff became a serpent. 10 plagues ravaged the land. Pharaoh's heart still hardened. He did not relent to let the Jews go. He would not grant a pardon. He would not grant a pardon. Now finally, the firstborn child of the Egypt began to die. And Pharaoh, thinking he'd save his son, told the Jews goodbye. Told the Jews goodbye. The Jews made haste while baking bread. The dough, it could not rise. They ran out of Egypt into the Red Sea. It parted and saved their lives. It parted and saved their lives. On the other side, dear Miriam cried, let's raise our voice in song. She sang, they sang and danced along. People sang and danced along. So that's the story of our freedom's tale. Come next year and we'll retell our Pesach Exodus story. Our Pesach Exodus story. V'shamaru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat lasod et ha-Shabbat l'Torah tamurito olam. V'shamaru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat lasod et ha-Shabbat l'Torah tamurito olam. Hava nagila hava nagila hava nagila v'nifecha. Hava nagila hava nagila hava nagila v'nifecha. Hava neranena hava neranena hava neranena v'nifecha. Hava neranena hava neranena hava neranena Otamea, Ozarua, Otadik, Utigila Simcha, Ozarua, Letadik, Ushila Simcha, Ozarua, Letadik, Ushila Simcha, Ushila Simcha, Ozarua, Letadik, Ushila Simcha, Ushila Simcha. So Gary wanted to say something. You can pick up the microphone. Just turn it on so people can hear you.
Okay, so this is Shamora matzah, and one thing I want to tell you a little about this matzah. First of all, it's watched from the time that the seed goes in the ground, and while it grows, it's watched, and when they go to and then it's handmade, and some of the pieces are burnt, but it's got to stay in the oven for 18 minutes. So I just, and then when we go in the other room for the Kiddush, I'm going to have some pieces broke up. And Hashem says that it's a blessing during Passover to eat some of this. So just so you know.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
And I'm now going to call up Valerie Jett to lead us in the blessing before the Torah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvara. Baruch Adonai Hamvara Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bahir Banu Mikol Ha'amin V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen.
Vayedaber Adonai El Moshe Lemor Deba Al Bnei Yisrael V'Yomta Alehem Moed Adonai Asher Tiku Otam Mikrae Kodesh Elohim Moadeh. Speak to the Israelite people and say to them, God tells Moses, these are my fixed times, the fixed times of God that you shall proclaim as sacred occasions. Shishet Yamim Ta'aseh Melachah Uvayom Hashvi'i Ashavat Shavaton Mekra Kodesh Kol Malka Lo Ta'asu Shabbat Hids Le Adonai Bechol Moshvitechem. On 6 days work may be done, but on the 7th day there shall be a Sabbath of complete rest, a sacred occasion. You shall do no work. It shall be the Sabbath of God throughout your settlements. Ele moadei Adonai mikrae kodesh asher titra'u etam b'moadam. There are set times of God, the sacred occasions, which you shall celebrate each at its appointed time. B'chodesh v'sham be'amra'ah asher lachodesh bein ha'avim Pesach le'Adonai. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, at twilight, there shall be a Passover offering to God. And on the 15th day of that month, God's feast of unleavened bread. You shall eat unleavened bread for 7 days. The blessing after the Torah.
We hope. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet V'Yachai Olam Natan B'Techenu Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen. What I would like to say is that I hope by next Pesach we have peace.
Amen. Amen for that. So if some of you don't know why I'm sitting rather than standing, I had knee surgery 3 weeks ago, Thursday. And, but my doctor gave me an all clear, said, go live your life. Come back if you need me, ever. And so that was really nice to hear. But I still am not quite up to standing the whole time yet. So, yeah, thank you. So this Torah portion is the Passover portion for day 2, Leviticus 22 and 23. God tells Moses to instruct Aaron and his sons, now the high priest, to be scrupulous about donations, lest they profane my name. One way to be scrupulous is to not touch anything that swarms or any human that is impure, a woman during her menstrual cycle, someone with a contagious disease, an unclean dead body, some bodily discharge, including sexual, before partaking in the donated sacrifices. If they touch those things, they must take a bath, change their clothes, and then wait until sundown before they can eat. They are to not eat anything that dies or was torn by beasts. Now, some of this makes sense, right? They didn't really understand the whole thing of why women were menstruating, right? So, and the other thing is that, you know, wild animals are attracted to blood. So, you know, the whole red tent thing, the women have to go into the other tent because of the bleeding, because why not have just the women killed and not everybody else, right? If they're attacked by wild animals, right? And I'm sorry, but that's probably how they thought. And, you know, and the other thing was, you know, when things have been torn apart by a beast, there could be infection. It could have been a rabid animal that killed them. So they don't know. So some of these things really were to try to protect the tribe. They just didn't know enough about science yet at that point. Someone who belongs to the priest by property purchase may eat with them, as well as those born into the household of the priest. If the daughter marries outside the priesthood, she may not eat the food, unless she's widowed and back in her father's home. Sacrificial donations must be without blemish. The house of Aaron is eating these sacrifices, so they must be healthy meat. Detailing healthy meat, no limb cut off, not bruised, testes intact. Again, the stranger is to be equal in the tribe. The next part is about animal cruelty. We must not take a baby until it's at least 7 days with its mother, and the parents should not be slaughtered with their young at the same time. And if you take eggs from a mom, you shoo the baby, you shoo the mom away before you take the eggs so she doesn't suffer. The meat shall be eaten on the same day only. And they didn't have storage facilities, so that makes sense. Moses also reminds Aaron that 6 days are work days, and on the 7th day there should be a Sabbath of complete rest. And on the 14th day, as I read, we must make an offering to God. On the 15th day will be the feast of the unleavened bread, and no leavened bread for 7 days. You shall not work, and you shall make offerings to God. So it's actually in the Torah that it tells us to do that. In Canaan, your first sheaf of harvest goes to the priest, and the priest will elevate your offering the day after Sabbath. You shall offer a lamb with 2/10 of a measure of choice flour with oil and wine. Until you bring that offering, no bread of parched grains and no corn shall be eaten. This is a law for all of the ages. On the day that you bring the sheaf, you begin counting until day after the 7th week for 50 days, called the counting of the omer. Right. You are to leave the edges of your field for the poor and the stranger. In the 7th month on the 1st day will be an elevated holiday we now call Rosh Hashanah. And on the 10th day, the Day of Atonement, which is correct. They're also reminded about Sukkot and the Feast of Booths, right, called the Feast of Booths. So I want to focus on the constant reminder throughout the Torah about 2 major things. One is that we make sacrifices for Shabbat and holiday. And the other is the constant reminder that the stranger is to be treated fairly and equally. There were 2 reasons for sacrifices. One was that Aaron and his sons had to eat. They were busy all day caring for the sick, conducting funerals, meeting with potential brides and grooms, offering counsel and explanation of Torah laws, tending to temple needs, cleaning, preparing, assembling the Mishkan, converting and educating strangers, solving difficulties among the tribe, and preparing holy space for the service for the entire congregation. They didn't have time to hunt or to work at other professions. They were too busy. Today, we don't bring lambs for the priest to eat, but we usually pay our clergy well, so as to allow them to be able to do their work. The second reason for the sacrifice was that people themselves could make a connection to God. They brought their sacrifices to the temple and then saw the reverence that was given to the priest to building the fire, raising up their offering, and made them feel that they were contributing in some way to the Sabbath and for God. Today, what we elevate to God, or to that holy presence, we bring ourselves. Or what are we sacrificing in order to elevate ourselves and honor a higher consciousness? The second thing that I wanted to point out in this passage is the constant reminder that taking care of the poor and the stranger is important in the Torah. Making sure they are fed, giving them equal access. The Torah mentions 36 to 46 times, more than anything else in the Torah, that we are to take care of the stranger. We are to allow them to live where they want. That says that in the Torah. For people that request political asylum or run away from slavery, we are to grant them access. That says that in the Torah. The obligation to love, honor, respect, and welcome the stranger has recently fallen on deaf ears. This is a movement in the United States to capture and throw out anyone who doesn't look white and call them strangers. Detention centers are touted as holding places for criminals, but we know that most of those people being detained, especially children and young mothers, are not criminals. It is our duty to continue to remind those in power that they are not following the commandments in our Torah. They say that they belong and believe in the Bible, but they are not following the Torah. The United States did not initially belong to the white man. We're certain of that. Most of our modern-day residents were once from another land and were strangers here. The Torah says that we are not to call anyone a profane name, and calling someone an alien is profane. Humans are not aliens. The Torah teaches us that these people are called strangers when they are not in their own land, and that it is our job to protect them and look out for them. So my ask this week is twofold. What are you doing or willing to sacrifice so that you feel closer to your higher power, or feel closer to being the person you envision you can be? Are you helping the temple? The second thing is, what can you do to help the poor or the strangers? You shall not mistreat a stranger, nor shall you oppress him, for you were once strangers in the land of Egypt during Passover. Of all places and times to think about what we're doing to some of these people. The Torah teaches us that with our pain and suffering, we are to learn and to do better and be better from it. So can you write a letter or call a political office or send care packages or give donations or food to the poor? Can you talk to your friends and neighbors and perhaps contact a local organization like the Mayan Center or the Guatemalan Center and shop for them because they're afraid to leave their homes? We've been bringing the food you've been donating for the last couple of weeks to the Guatemalan Center. I know you will think of something that you can do, but if you don't know where to start, I would be happy to give you suggestions. Please just ask. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. This song is V'hi She'amda, and it really was written for the Israeli soldiers. And there's a wonderful video if you ever want to look it up, but please join in V'hi She'amda. V'hi She'amda Lavoteinu, V'hi She'amda Lavoteinu V'lanu, Shelo echad bilvad omad aleinu l'chol atenu, amad aleinu l'chol atenu. V'hi she'amda lavoteinu, V'hi she'amda lavoteinu v'lanu, Shelo echad bilvad omad aleinu l'chol atenu, Amad aleinu l'chol atenu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Atmileinu Matzilenu Meyadam. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Matzilenu Matzilenu Meyadam. Shelo echad bilvad omad aleinu l'chol atenu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu matzilenu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu matzilenu meyadam. V'hi she'amda lavoteinu, V'hi she'amda lavoteinu v'lanu, Shelo echad bilvad omad aleinu l'chol atenu, amad aleinu l'chol Aleinu, Amad Aleinu Lechalotinu. Today, we have the Aleinu, but I have it out of order, so hold on a second. Please join in the Aleinu, rise if it be your custom. Aleinu l'shabeach
Shalom Achanu Yehoratzon Velo Samanu K'mishpachot Adama Shalom Samchalkenu Kahem V'gor Aleinu L'chol Hamonam V'anachnu Korim Mishtachavim Umotim Lifnei Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Melech HaKol Haaretz Hayom Hahu Yeh Adonai Echad U'Shemo U'Shemo
I call on Sharon to lead us in the names for the Kaddish.
We honor and remember those who have recently passed: Vincent Quasi, Robert Field, Chloe Gomez, Keller, Eleanor Mandel, Joel Neiman, Amy Weber Rosen, Sylvia Joan Tricarico, Steve West. We remember with love those who celebrate their April yahrzeits during this month: Richard Allen, Ray Berenson, Grace Bergman, Lois Brennan, Arthur Coleman, Jerome Dater, Albert Davis, Ellen Eckenberger, Paul Fagenbaum, Ethel Golub, Irving Golub, Joseph Gross, Mary Gross, Jeanette Gerwitz, Macy Gerwitz, Sanford Hirsch, Morris Kahn, Marcia Gitterman Kaiserman, Max Kornblue, Carol Kramer, Dorothy Kushner, Jack Levitt, Edward Martino, Rose Morris, John G. O'Brien, Joe Perlman, Dr. Max Pensack, Bertha Pilch, Benjamin Rosenthal, Marianne Schatzer, Elaine Silver, Eddie Starr, Hattie Willens.
Thank you. Please join in the Kaddish. Oh, are there any other names? Yeah, Alan. Thank you. Anybody else? No, all those that have died in these last several wars, people that have nobody to say Kaddish for them as well.
Please rise for the Kaddish and join me. Yiskadal v'yiskadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divra kiraseh v'yamlich makuseh, b'chayechon uv'mechon uv'chayerecho beis Yisrael, b'galav izman kariv v'yimru. Amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevorach li'olam olamei olamaya, yisparach v'yistabach v'yisparar v'yisroman v'yisnaseh, v'yishadar v'yishalev v'yishalal shemei dekudashah brichu, le'elom min kol berchasa v'shirasa, tushbechasa v'nechamasa, Damiron v'yalma v'yimeru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chaim oleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimeru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'marmav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yal kol yoshvei tevel v'yimeru. Amen. May their memories be for today and for always. Blessings. And may we say together, Amen.
Amen. And now I wanted to ask our president if she wanted to come up and have any words for us. Dr. Ruth Sabo. You turned it off.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom, Hag, Pesach, Sameach. It's really nice to be here. I've been missing the last 3 weeks, but for good reasons. I was on vacation, and then I had a special family visiting, and we had our Shabbat dinner last night. They were here, so I've been well. I know a few of you, I know, were asking.
Hold it closer to your mouth.
Okay, closer to my mouth. I'm here. I hope that you've had a beautiful beginning of Passover and that you've had at least one Seder to attend. I was blessed with many friends and my son being with me this week. And we did something really special. I just want to share for 1 minute. I have a dear friend who's a Moroccan Jew. She was born here, but her parents are born and raised in Morocco. And I found that they do something special for Seder. And I asked her if she would like us to do it at my house. And she said, oh, that's my favorite part of Seder. I love it. So there's a song, something like Behillu. And one of the people, we had her husband do it while she sang, hold the Passover Seder plate over each person's head, kind of rotates it 3 times with a special blessing from God through the Seder plate to the person who's underneath the plate. And it was just such a special addition to the Seder, and I just wanted to share it with you. And I'm fascinated always with the traditions of Jews from different parts of the world. My mother-in-law was born and raised in Manchuria, China, so that maybe got me started in trying to learn more about Jews from around the world. And I urge all of you to start reading about Jewish traditions. We're so familiar with our own that we tend to forget that other Jews in other parts of the world do some different things. Anyway, Shabbat Shalom. May everybody
Shabbat
be
Shalom.
healthy.
Thank you so much. So closing words. As we come to the close of a sacred time together, we carry with us the quiet invitation of the omer, this daily practice of becoming, of refining, of growing into who we are meant to be. Tonight, on this second day of the omer, we're reminded that love needs strength, and strength must be guided by love. That balance is what sustains us, not only as individuals, but as a community, as a people committed to living with purpose. We also stand in a moment where traditions meet. To those observing, we wish you a meaningful Good Friday and joyful and hope-filled Easter. And to all of us, as we continue in the season of Passover, may it truly be a time of freedom, not just remembered, but lived for everyone. Passover teaches that liberation is not only about leaving something behind, but about what we choose to carry forward. This is the time to clear away what no longer serves us, old resentments, old fears, old stories that keep us stuck. This is the time to reach out, to make amends, to pick up the phone and call someone you haven't heard from for a long time, because freedom is not only a grand idea, it's built in small, courageous acts of connection. And we're coming into the high holidays soon, so get this all done. And we're reminded of 2 essential truths that define who we are: to welcome the stranger, because we know what it feels like to be a stranger, and to protect and maintain our freedom, not just for ourselves, but for others. Freedom requires vigilance, it requires compassion, it requires that we speak, that we act, and that we care. So as you go out into the week ahead, may you carry this with you: a heart open enough to love, a spirit strong enough to stand, and the courage to live as a source of freedom for yourself and others. May this Shabbat bring you peace, may this season bring you renewal, and may we all continue the journey together. Shabbat Shalom. The announcements. And then if Valerie wants to join in that song, you can head this way for after the announcements.
We welcome everyone through our doors at Va-Dor, Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach Pesach. And we are just thrilled tonight that Miriam Civic, one of our board members, she brought some beautiful roses she donated to give to everyone here tonight as you leave the service. Something special for this Passover Shabbat that we should keep something beautiful with us and to remember. So thank you, Miriam.
She said she really would have loved to just give them out in person, but she just couldn't stay.
Yeah.
So
This Tuesday night, April 7th, we have Touch of Torah on Zoom, and we hope that you'll join us and get some insight into the Torah Parsha for next Shabbat. And on Tuesday, April 14th, our Touch of Jewish History is going to star the story of Marlee Matlin. And if you don't know who she is the first deaf actress to have received an Academy Award. She's amazing. And she's also the reason we have closed caption on movies and TV. Join us next Friday night for our celebration of Shabbat, led for our very own Cantor Carol Garrett, soon to be Rabbi Carol Robbins Garrett. And we thank all those that bring our food and personal hygiene items for our food drive. As Carol said, we're donating it to the Guatemalan and Maya Center. They're all in very much need. So thank you. We will not have a virtual presence next week, next Friday night only. It'll be only in person, and we will be in the regular club room around the corner. And reserve your seat now for the Holy Mitzvah, She's a Rabbi, with our guest performer, Noah Aronson. We did Noah's version of the Baruch Hu earlier in tonight's Shabbat, and we're trying to incorporate a little of his music so you'll be more familiar when he sings on July 12th. We're very lucky to have him. So thank you, and anybody that wants to join us for that. And we'll have a program, a sheet that you can put an insert into the program for that special day with your sentiments or greetings. I will have that soon. Support our synagogue, be part of our family. We love you all, and we thank you for reading our email newsletter, looking at our website, and seeing us on social media. Thank you so much. And we also thank Josh Agosi, who helps us with our social media. That's really important. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach Pesach. Happy Passover. Thank you to Cantor Carol and all those who help out for this beautiful Shabbat to make it special. And thanks to all for attending. Please join us at our special Passover Oneg Shabbat, which will be in the room around the corner. And I did want to just mention one little thing. We did the song Hashkivenu, which was one of Rabbi Barry's special songs. And the other day, when the shuttle went off, the Artemis II, we finished our Seder and went outside and watched it in the skies. And I thought of Hashkivenu as I was watching. And when you were singing it, it was like it was real for me. I was watching the Artemis II fly through the air, and it was just so special. I thought of Rabbi Barry. So thank you, Carol.
thank you, Sharon.
Otire kauto ye Vashana Vashana Abba. Seasons come, seasons go, and people never seem to know how long it will rain or it will shine. Let them ask what will be. It doesn't mean a thing to me. I know what will be when you're mine. Otire, otire, kamo tov yeh, Vashana, Vashana, Abba. Otire, otire, kamo tov yeh, Vashana, Vashana, Abba. Neshel hamirpeset benitpur tziborim nodedo. Yeladim behusha, Yesachol tofeset ben habayit levin hazado. Otire, otire, kamo tov yeh, Vashana, Vashana, Abba. Otire, otire, kamo tov yeh, Vashana, Vashana, Abba. Amotzi lechem min haaretz, We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices raise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam amotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Thank everybody that helped make this night happen. Thank you all, Yasher Koach, to everybody that came up and did a blessing. Beautiful job tonight. Thank you all. Happy Passover. Shabbat shalom. Thank you.